On August 11, 2014, the world lost its funny bone along with Robin Williams. As shocking as it was heartbreaking, the man who had comedy flowing through his veins like oxygen chose to sever that lifeline forever at only 63. What inner demons could have convinced Robin to go from comedy king to tragic punchline? In this video, we will explore Robin Williams' incredible life and career, from his early days doing stand-up comedy to his acclaimed roles in films like Good Will Hunting. We'll also take a thoughtful look at his long struggles with addiction and mental health issues. Robin Williams was more than just a funny man. He was the comedy idol of millions. Behind the wild voices and hysterical impersonations was a deeply sensitive soul prone to darkness. By better understanding this comic's legend's inner demons, we can spot signs of suffering in others and show them the support Williams himself yearned for. Stay until the end as we celebrate his genius while grieving the emptiness that drove him away from us. Long before Robin Williams became a household name, he was just a lanky boy desperate to make his mother laugh. Born in 1951 in Chicago, Robin learned early on he had a knack for comedy. But its seed was planted in loneliness. As an only child, Robin entertained himself by observing others. He'd study people's quirks and mannerisms, then surprise Mom by mimicking their voices and gestures precisely. His scarily accurate impression of their elderly neighbor, Mr. Wilson, sent Mom into giggling fits. Her belly laughs lit up something in little Robin. Bringing joy to others brought a warmth missing from his own world. In that glow, he felt worthy, if only as a dancing monkey amusing the crowd. At school, Robin struggled to fit in. Gangly and anxious, he was bullied for being different. But he discovered classmates rewarded the class clown with laughter and acceptance. So, Robin used comedy to cope, channeling his fears into improvised routines. Silly faces and voices became a way to safely stand out. Spotlights started to feel like home, while offstage was uncertain. Acting let Robin step into bolder personas even if he felt like a fraud inside. In high school drama club, Robin could fully immerse in playful worlds. Landing the lead role in The Wizard of Oz cemented his path as a performer. Hiding behind costumes freed his fullest self. Throughout college, Robin dove deeper into stand-up comedy, addicted to making crowds cackle on cue. But real intimacy didn't come as easily without a script. The more fans applauded his acts, the lonelier he felt. Offstage, hollowness awaited along with shame. You're only lovable when performing. The real you is boring. Better to play the fool than be the fool. Before graduation, Robin dropped out to pursue comedy full-time, escaping those harsh inner voices through audience adoration. Fun fact number 1. Robin first stepped on stage to get laughs at a little church in San Francisco. Using humor to connect spiritually, he entertained small groups of parishioners with jokes and silly characters after services. By 1977, Robin landed a gig that promised to blast his talents into living rooms across America. He was cast on the hit variety show Laugh-In, known for launching major careers like Goldie Hawn and Lily Tomlin. It was Robin's big break, a chance to showcase his unique physical comedy and hyperactive impersonations to millions. As soon as he bounced on stage, the audience knew they were seeing something extraordinary. He stood out among the seasoned professionals, stealing scenes with hilarious characters and razor-sharp improv. The producers kept bringing quirky Robin back for more episodes, captivated by his talent and bubbly energy. But TV appearances were just the beginning. Robin was on his way to becoming an icon of laughter. During his rapid rise, Robin struck up a deep friendship with the kindred spirit, fellow stand-up comic Billy Crystal. As they pushed each other creatively, they formed a bond that went beyond comedy. Robin was named the godfather of Billy's first daughter in '79. Though very different in style, the pair shared the unique rush that came from making audiences fans erupt. They understood the thrill of the spotlight, but also the isolation of its glare. The 80s marked Robin's transition from small to silver screen. He landed more prominent film roles that revealed his incredible dramatic range. After making fans laugh themselves hoarse in zany roles, he left them weeping just as hard in stirring dramatic performances. Few could toggle between comedy and tragedy like Robin. He nabbed 4 Golden Globes, 2 Screen Actor Guild Awards, and an Academy Award over just 7 years. Fun fact number 2. Early in Robin's comedy career, he painted his face white and performed as a mime in New York's Central Park to make ends meet. Dodging indifferent crowds hustling past, he relied on physical comedy to break through and wring a few dollars from passerbys' pockets. But as Robin's star power grew, so did his emptiness off camera. The very gift that earned him love and acclaim offered only fleeting relief from his inner demons. While Robin was the life of every party on screen and stage, back at his lonely mansion, laughter often faded into sorrow. His larger-than-life talent masked an empty inner world plagued with addiction and depression. Robin first got sober in 1982 after years of dangerous binges. But staying quiet proved a constant struggle over the decades. Through all the relapses, comedy was his lifeline, the only time he felt a spark of purpose. Creating joy for others let Robin briefly outrun his own demons snarling within. But once alone in the deafening silence between shows, his mood sunk like a stone. All the accolades and accomplishments felt hollow, unable to fill the cold void inside. So, the cycles of substance abuse continued as Robin fruitlessly tried to numb his psychic pain. Even surrounded by loved ones, he remained isolated by the belief he was undeserving of real connection. By the late 1990s, troubling symptoms added to Robin's distress. Racing thoughts and insomnia left him anxious and exhausted. His once sharp memory now betrayed him, unable to recall simple lines. Worst of all were the vivid hallucinations creeping into his waking life, the stuff of paranoid nightmares. For years, doctors struggled to explain Robin's escalating problems. It took until 2014 to uncover the tragic diagnosis: Lewy body dementia, an aggressive brain disorder causing the mental abilities he relied on to rapidly deteriorate. With his sense of self unraveling, Robin's depression became untenable. His righteous mind, the source of so much joy and refuge for others, was now his worst enemy, an intimate betrayal by his very identity. As dementia's fog thickened, Robin's world became a disorienting funhouse of waking terrors. Hallucinations and paranoia haunted his days, while his nights brought no respite. His rapidly unraveling mind no longer let him distinguish delusion from reality. The teeming mass of imaginary voices and personas Robin once called on for performances had turned against him, jeering monsters in his head. Cognitively and physically brutalized, his sense of safety and self was shattered. Where once stood one of Hollywood's sharpest wits, now sat a trembling, defeated stranger cloaked with despair in his own tormented skin. Robin's doctors confirmed what he already felt. There would be no encore, no miraculous recovery of his rich talents. The final curtain was falling, and the lead actor was losing grip on everything that made the show worth doing. In those last tortured months as depression's grip tightened along with dementia's chokehold, Robin made an agonizing decision. If his essence was doomed, the very parts of him that brought such joy and meaning to so many, then perhaps the shell that remained must go as well. Fun fact number 3. As they climbed the cutthroat ladder of fame, Robin and great friend Billy Crystal made a pact to stay grounded for each other. No matter how busy their shooting schedules got, or how flashy the parties they got invited to, the old friends would still call most nights just to talk for hours like a couple of nobodies again. On that heartbreaking August afternoon, Robin chose freedom from the prison of his obliterated identity. He stepped through the ultimate exit to escape his suffering, leaving shock and grief in his wake. But perhaps we can find some solace knowing that his brilliant spirit has finally found peace after braving years of inner turmoil unimaginable to most. His time on Earth ended tragically soon, yet the laughter echoes on. Recap: Robin Williams lived an extraordinary life filled with laughter and tears. Though his tragic end was heartbreaking, his legacy of comedy brilliance lives on. By opening up about his struggles, perhaps his story can encourage more compassion and support for people fighting similar battles.